Well, if you don't mind, I'd love to have a little fact versus fiction section. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, bring it on.
I'm going to give a statement and then you just let me know if it's fact or fiction. A lot of people still think that you need 20% down in order to buy a home. Fact or fiction?
That is fiction, not even close. People so much think that you need to have 20% down, whereas there's actually programs to where you don't have to have a down payment in some cases.
At all.
There's first-time buyer programs that it'll cover your payment.
Wow. So if you had to estimate the average percentage down that your borrowers pay, and I know you probably don't have all the numbers in front of you, but what would you say it is? What does the average home buyer put down on that purchase?
I would say most home buyers right now are putting 3.5% down, and that is an FHA loan. I would say the majority of individuals right now trying to get a mortgage, they're gravitating more towards an FHA loan in general.
Credit scores. Do you need to have an A quality credit score in order to be able to buy a home? And I say A quality 760 or above, something like that?
Yeah, I would agree. A quality 760, somewhere around there. So no, absolutely fiction. Right now, I would say that in most cases, FHA can go down to a 580 credit score.
Okay.
So that's the majority of where people are going to be at right now for being able to get approved.
Now, if I were a buyer and I had a lower credit score due to no fault of my own, something happened, maybe medical bill, something like that, who knows? And I would be thinking, okay, well, my credit score is only 590 or 600. And so does that mean that I'm going to pay significantly more interest than someone who had, for example, a 760 credit score?
No, not at all. So for a while there, it was to where the difference between interest rates from, let's say, a 580, 590 all the way up to an 800, it was pretty significant. But a few years ago, there were some laws enacted that helped minimize that. So it brought everything a little bit closer. So if you're looking at the range of 580 to 800 or 820 or what have you, you're going to see a much smaller difference in interest rate from one to the other.
Everyone knows, based on their income, how much home they qualify for. Fact or fiction?
Fiction, because there are other factors that come into play with that. Income does play a major part, but it's not the only thing.
So would you say that in general, people tend to overestimate the amount of loan they would qualify for, or in many cases underestimate the amount of loan they would qualify for based on what they know about their income and expenses?
I would say right now, most are underestimating. I have a lot of buyers that we have kind of a fun conversation of, well, let's start with what are your limits? What are you trying to get approved for? What is that monthly payment? And then from there, we'll always kind of joke around, well, okay, what do you think your limit is? And when I tell them what they're actually approved for, it's so much past what they actually can get. But I do feel like throughout the years that has flip-flopped, because for a while there it was to where people were...
They thought they could qualify for more.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Those conversations have been better lately.
And so this is not a fair question, but I'm going to ask it anyway because I want to know the answer. But how much do you think the average borrower you talk to underestimates their buying power? 100,000, 50,000, 150,000? I mean, it's probably not a fair question, but I'm curious.
If I had to put a number on it, because it varies. I do loans all throughout the state and a few other states as well.
Right.
I would put it as maybe about 150,000 different.
It's a big deal. And no, I'm not trying to promote people buying a $150,000 more expensive house. They need to buy a house, within their budget, whatever that is. But that's a very substantial missing the mark, thinking, hey, I can only qualify for a 350 when I could qualify for a 500. Doesn't mean that you need to buy the 500, but being able to qualify for it opens up a whole other group of options.